going to explain to us how she did the bell ringer. Let's pay close attention in case anyone made a mistake. And Natalie, whenever you talk kind of loud so that way the person watching the video can hear you because they really can't see what's written on the board. All right, go ahead.
So I added 20 plus 35, and then on 55, I subtracted that from 180, and this angle is 125, and then the vertical angle 125, and then I took 156 minus 125, and that's 31.
Awesome, thank you. Abby, tell us, do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Okay, my question is, how come you could do 156 minus 125 to get the measure of that angle? Why did you not have to find the measure of the that other interior angle, third angle, and do all that?
I guess because it's outside of the triangle. I don't know.
Exterior angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you use the exterior angle theorem, which means, which says that an exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent interior angles. Okay, perfect. Good job. And I like how you, as you found each one, you labeled it with the measure. I like how you did that. That's probably the best piece of advice I could give you for a quiz or an assignment is as you find the angle measures, label them with that angle measure. And if you do that, it's going to help you out a lot. If they were to say, also, another piece of advice would be, let's say they give you a congruent statement and say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. And then they'll probably have the triangles. If they give you the statement and they give you the triangles, I would go ahead and mark the angles and sides congruent. So like I know A and D are congruent, so I would mark A and D congruent. And then B and E, so I would mark B and E congruent and C and F. And then you can mark the sides. Okay, so I know that AB would be congruent to DE. BC would be congruent to EF. And AC would be congruent to DF. So notice I just used my statement to mark everything. And then if they told me that the measure of angle A is 40, I would actually go over here and mark this 40 degrees. And on the other angle, triangle, I would mark it 40 degrees also. So A is 40, it's congruent to D, so I would mark it 40 as well. Okay. So I go through and mark everything, and you would see from my answer keys and everything that you can see that I still do that whenever I'm working them out. Okay, what questions do you have for me on finding angle measures or triangle congruence? Okay. All right, so we're going to do an activity today to review for your quiz tomorrow. And then after we're done with the activity, then we will be taking notes on the next section. And then we will finish those notes tomorrow after your quiz. So if you would please get out that one of those pieces of paper and title it 6.1, 6.2 review. So title it 6.1, 6.2 review. I also need you to write your name on it because you're going to turn it in at the end of the hour, and that's how you're going to receive credit today, is by having your answers written down.
Do we still have that bonus thing tomorrow?
Oh yes, Friday. Don't forget, tomorrow you have 15 free minutes at the end of class, and you get to bring a snack. So we'll take the quiz, and then we'll take notes, and then I'll stop the notes about 15 minutes before class is over, so that way y'all can have the last 15 minutes free. And I will put myself, I already have a note, but I will make myself another note, like a alarm or something. All right, so 6.1, 6.2 review. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to show a problem on the board, and you're going to work it out. If you would like to draw the picture, that's completely okay. You do not have to draw the picture. And some of these don't even require work. So you would probably just have an answer written down. Now, if you want to draw the picture and it helps you, then please do, but you're not required to. Only thing I'm going to look for is your actual answer. And if there's any math involved, I'll look for your work that you show. All right, so here's your first one. Hang on, I think it skipped one. Right here. Find the measure of the indicated angle. All right, so I'll give you a minute.
You don't have to draw a picture?
You do not have to draw the picture unless you want to. Now what I want you to do, and Natalie, since your partner's not here, you're going to talk with Lakin and Maddie. I want you to turn to your partner and tell your partner what answer you got for the measure of the indicated angle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a number, and this person's going to come up to the board and explain to the class how they got their answer. Number 14. So explain to the class how you got your answer, please.
I added 65 and 57 and got 122, and I subtracted that from 180.
All right, awesome, very good. So you add them together and subtract them from 180 because all three angles have to add up to be 180. Very good. So 58 degrees would be the correct answer. All right, here's your next one. Find the measure of the indicated angle. All right, go ahead and share with your partner what answer you got. And number 15, work this one out on the board for us, please. Now tell them what you did.
So I know that's 9-degree angle, so I did 40 plus 90 is 130, and 130 minus 180 is 130.
Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, so you should have gotten 50 degrees for that one. Also, anytime you have a right triangle, the two acute angles are always going to be complementary, which means they're always going to add up to be 90. So that's something else you could think about. Like, you don't even have to worry about the 90-degree angle. You can just say, 90 minus 40 is 50. So that would be another way to find that angle. But if you sometimes trying to remember all those formulas is hard, so. Okay. All right, try this one. It's a little bit more complicated. Find the measure of the indicated angle. If you need to draw the picture on this one, I understand. This one's a little bit more complicated. I know I would draw the picture. This time, whenever you share your answer with your partner, if you got two different answers, you're going to need to argue your point of why you think it's the answer you think it is. So that way you can try to figure out who is correct. All right, go ahead, share what you got with your partner.
Oh my. Wait, so it doesn't just subtract? 137 minus 142.
And then you're trying to find that angle, so you have to do 1.5, and then you take the inside of or 180 minus 145 is 35. And then you find like 35.
I heard some really good conversations with that one. Number one has this one, mark this one out on the board for us, please. And on this one, it's okay. However you want to do it, if you want to write it all out, then explain it, or explain it as you're writing it out. But it just kind of make sure you go through and really explain what you did for those that were not sure.
So I took, because the whole thing has to be 180, so I took 180 minus the 137 to get 43, which is this angle, and then I took the 102 plus 43 to get 145.
Hey, yeah, perfect. So thank you. So these two lines here these two angles here are supplementary because they're a linear pair. So they have to add up to equal 180. So 180 minus 137 is 43. So this interior angle is 43 degrees. Now, there's a couple different ways you can go about the rest of it. You can find the measure of this interior angle, then subtract that from 180 to get the exterior. Or you can use exterior angle theorem, which says this angle here is equal to these two added together, and 102 plus 43 is 145 degrees.
How did I do that wrong, Miss Goodman? I got 121. But see, I did 137 minus 180 and got 43 because that makes a straight line, or like that's a straight angle. And then I did 43 plus 102 and got 59 minus 180.
I think you did minus 102.
Yeah, it's 145. Yeah.
Yeah, I think right there is where you made your mistake. You subtracted these instead of adding them.
Okay.
Alright, let's try another one. I said, very good. I heard some really good conversations with that one. Alright, try this one. measure of the indicated angle. That's angle U right there. All right, go ahead, share with your partner your answer.
That's it on that one. I didn't have
Yeah, I have to make sure I know.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I don't want to try that.
All right,
Well, that's how I did it. No, I put the same thing.
number seven. Work this one out on the board for us, please.
Go, Warriors, go.
Okay, so I subtracted this from 180, and then that came out to 60, so I did 60 plus 15 got 110, subtracted that from 180 got 70.
Okay, will you mark the 60-degree angle so they know which angle you found first? Perfect. All right, yeah, so she saw that those two were a linear pair, so she did 120 minus, or I'm sorry, 180 minus 120 and got 60. And then she knew that those three had, the three interior had added up to 180. 60 plus 50 is 110. 180 minus 110 is 70. So angle U would have to be 70 degrees. Very good. Now, did you absolutely have to do it that way?
No, I'm just interested.
No, either way it's fine. Whichever way gets you the right answer. That's the way I want you to use it. You could have also did 120 minus 50 because U and T would have to add up to be 120 as the exterior angle. But I would prefer you to work it out to get the correct answer than trying to memorize a bunch of formulas, because, I mean, it's hard to remember formulas, especially whenever you're taking a quiz or test, because it's like your brain shuts down.
I can never tell, like, when you can just subtract it like that.
Whenever it's an exterior angle, and they give you one of the two non-adjacent ones.
What did the last problem look like?
This one,
So
you
that
could have,
was one?
yeah, this one, you had to find this angle first, which was 43. Then all you had to do was 102 plus 43 to get this angle out here.
It was just like the same nice. I can never tell, like, when I can get that one here.
Now, if that's, some people it's hard to see that, so if you are one of those people, I would suggest using the triangle sum theorem every time, just finding, the three interior angles and then figuring out what the exterior is, after you do the 180. All right, I think the next one's a little bit more difficult. Let's see if you can figure this one out. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Find the measure of the indicated angle. And let me erase this.
You're gonna get called on, I already know.
No, he's not here till third hour.
Oh, you're not playing baseball? Yes, sir.
All right, work this one out.
I have not much love for baseball.
Learn something every day, Cindy.
Alright. you play softball in school?
Yes.
How'd your interview go?
What?
How'd your interview go?
Good.
What they asked you?
What was my goal? To infill it better.
They feel it better.
Yeah. Around and I did this in video. I look like an idiot.
Were you nervous?
No.
I can't wait to see it.
I think I actually got this one.
I don't know.
Alright, go ahead, share with your partner what you got for your answer.
Heck yeah,
I'm just not tired.
I did that.
I was calling the number, but I got it.
Oh, yeah.
What's the answer?
I need like.
You lost it. Draw my number, but show my
What?
Oh, there's something. What?
Alright, Sydney wants to do this one.
Heck yeah, buddy.
No.
Alright, let's pay attention on this one. This one was a little bit more difficult.
Okay, so this has to equal 180, so I did 84 plus 36, and that equals 1, if I get wrong, I'm right. And then I did that minus 80, or 180, because that has to equal, yeah, and I got 60. Well, that's I know that equals 90, so then I did 60 minus 90, and got 30, so I know that that's 60, and that's 30. Oh. Okay, so and so I did 86 minus, and got 116, and 116 minus 180 equals 64 degrees.
Very good. Yep, that's
I
right.
was like, laugh if you're like, no. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so first you had to figure out that partial of that right angle
Great job.
by using triangle sum theorem. And then like she said, these two have to add up to be 90, so that has to be 30. And then you gotta use triangle sum theorem again to get that one. Perfect. Very good explanation.
Dude, I wish I cracked like that. It hurt so bad.
Alright, this next one's a tad bit more difficult. Let's see who all can get this one.
I thought we were just at
Oh, wait, no, never.
Oh,
Never mind. That one's, here it is. This one here.
Oh, you want us to do, skip over one, Miss Goodman?
Yeah, find the measure of the indicated angle.
I only got the two first ones right.
Oh my god. So difficult. Is this
Are
the
we
quiz
doing a
tomorrow?
quiz?
Oh.
I can't draw this.
Then don't draw it.
I have to, Sydney. My brain doesn't work like yours.
Yeah.
I can't. Well, that's a straight line, so, wait.
You got it, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Sydney. Sydney got it.
That's not even a triangle, it's like a hole.
I'm so lost.
I don't even know where to stick this number at.
What I would do, I would find the measure, find one angle that you can find the measure of it, and once you do, put that number in there. Then after you find that angle, then see if there's another angle you can find. And then just keep doing that until you make your way to the angle that's marked.
That's wrong.
I told her to go ahead and work it out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Look like
Yeah.
you do this one.
No, what do
Did
these?
you get 95 for 80?
Well, then I don't know.
This would be 90, correct?
Hey, now
Yes.
do your math then.
Okay.
My what?
Redo your
I'm
math.
confused where I go with this. 180 minus
Okay.
85?
You got that angle's 30. How much is this angle? I'll
It's
put a 90
85 in
there.
nature, but not 95.
Okay, now what do you know about all three of these? What are they gonna have to do?
95.
Because they make us a straight line.
85.
No. 115 minus 180 will get you that top
Oh,
angle.
I did 180 because it's like a straight line.
We had to subtract that from the 115, so that's what makes it a straight line.
I was going the
Still
other
lower
way.
than that somewhere.
Okay, what do you know about these two angles? What do they have to do? What do they make? They make 180. So you to find this top angle, you'd have to do 180 minus 115, and that would give you this top angle inside the triangle.
Hold on, let's do this. Can I do it after anything? Wait, is this a lot easier than we think? Because I have an idea, but I don't want to say them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What angle measure does this give you? Which angle is this?
The one I'm going to.
Well, these two have to add up to 180 because they're a linear pair. So how would you find this angle?
I'm having no problem trying to
Add
do this
that and subtract it from 180.
Well, you don't even really need anything else. How, if these two have to add up to 180, how do you find this one?
180 minus.
And then that'll give you that angle.
I thought you would do the,
Hang on,
Exterior angle.
the alternate one. And then like it would be 85.
Like, I found the left side, that's what I'm trying to write.
Now, what you did 115 minus 85. You can, that's alternate, or that's exterior angle theorem. These two had to add up to 115. So whenever you subtracted this minus this, that gave you this angle.
What's the rule for where like
That's the square.
it'll be the same on the other side? It's like,
That's vertical angles.
no, that's not that one. I don't know how to explain that. It's like it's just the transversal and like.
Oh, that's when you have the parallel. That's when you have parallel lines.
So that wouldn't work.
No, because you don't have parallel lines. All right, Lakin's going to. Did I already have you talk with your partner?
No.
Okay, tell your partner what you got, please, and explain it.
I got 30.
Oh,
No.
then what do you do?
Isn't that confusing?
Yeah, then you do the same thing on the right side, 96 equals 75, and then subtract that from 180.
I mean, I might be wrong.
See, I wasn't that good.
I'm confused where you got one of your numbers, but we'll see about it.
I know that either.
I kinda got lost, but I'm looking
Wait.
for it.
Wait. The 85, how do you find the actual answer?
Taylor.
Whenever I go through it, I made a mistake, I'll just fix
Yes,
it.
it is. Oh, no, you gotta subtract.
Yeah.
So it's 95.
Okay.
And then,
I probably should have drawn it because it helps me better if I draw it and be able to write out the angle where it is.
That helps me a lot. Like, as I find each one, I have to actually like put that measure in there. So I
I might
Oh.
have if I mess up.
So you know if you got No, you add one of these two and it's the outside. I don't know if it's this one, or this one.
I've never done that.
exterior angle theorem.
Yes, which one you add?
That would be, are you talking about the question mark?
Yeah, is
Okay.
it this one, or this
Yes,
one?
no, this one and this one, it's the two non-adjacent, that one's adjacent, so the two non-adjacent would be these two.
wait, so did I do this right?
No.
I subtracted this from 180.
It's that you add. This one, this one. What?
I'm never listening.
No, you did
Yeah,
not
but
explain
and
it.
you can do that too, because what's 60 plus 25? Either method.
You did not explain it correctly.
Yes, I did. I literally said 180 minus 95.
Alright, Lakin's gonna explain to us how she figured this one out. Again, I heard some really good conversations, and I even liked how I heard, people using different methods to still come up with the correct answer, to still get the correct answer.
You, me.
Ah, I see what I did. Okay. I knew I got something wrong in here. Okay. So, I kind of did it the longer way because it helps me if I see all the angles. And so I did 115 minus, or 180 minus 115, I got 65 for this angle. And then 65 plus 85 equals 150, and I did 180 minus 150, and I got 30 degrees for this angle. And then this is a 90-degree angle, so I added 30 plus 90, and I got 120, and I did 180 minus 120, I got 60. And then I went over here and I did 150, or 180 minus 155, got 25, so this angle's 25. 25 plus 60 equals 85, and then 180 minus 85 is 95, and then 180 minus 95 is 85 for this angle.
Awesome, very good explanation. How did you know that those three angles would equal 180 if you added them together? Those three angles in the middle, the 30, the 90, and the 60?
Because it's a straight line.
Yeah, they all three make up a straight line, so they would all three have to add up to 180. Very good. I would say that's the most complicated that it's going to get. Overall, like that, I would say that's the most complicated problem you're going to see ever.
That's just my look. That's anxiety. Who's anxiety?
Alright, now I think this was all from section 6.1. Now we've got a couple problems from 6.2. Again, if you want to draw the picture, I completely understand. You don't absolutely have to draw the picture, and there's probably, some of these do not require any work.
What's the next one again? 6.1, 6.2.
6.1 is using triangle sum theorem and exterior angles. 6.2 is triangle congruence, like congruent polygons.
Oh, it's like finding the angles that are
By using congruency. Alright, no, we'll skip that one. Okay.
We just got done doing
It says complete each congruent statement by naming the corresponding angle or side. So it gave you a picture to help you out. It says triangle DEF is congruent to triangle KJI. And then at the bottom it says segment FD is congruent to what? Okay, so if you just want to put what it's congruent to, that's fine. If you want to draw the picture, that's also fine.
You have it in a certain order? Or like, is it not split or something?
Like, are you saying like FB or DF?
Yeah.
That don't matter.
Yeah, that one has to be third.
Alright, go ahead, share with your partner what you wrote.
Yeah.
Number 2, write this one out on the board for us, please.
It is easy. I just.
I felt like doing
What?
it. You're lazy, Taylor.
Why did you say segment KI?
It has 3 lines on
Yeah, perfect, so they both have 3
So
segments.
hard.
Alright, here's your next one. Triangle TUB is congruent to triangle GFE. Angle U is congruent to what? This one's not marked.
Don't we know the tricks?
But we're in a quiz bowl meet.
it.
Yeah, we'd like argue our side.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, go ahead, share with your partner what you wrote down in line.
Angle F.
It's actually G.
Alright, number 14. Go write the answer on the board for us and tell us what you got.
That wasn't rude. That makes it weird.
Alright, Natalie's gonna explain to us her answer and why she got that answer.
I used these up here and saw which one we lined up with, so I got angle U.
You can do that.
You literally told us
Right.
that the other day.
Yeah, perfect. So U and F are both in the middle, so they would be congruent to each other. Very good.
That's just what they lined up with.
Alright, here's your next one. Triangle DEF is congruent to triangle DSR. Angle F is congruent to angle
Right?
Go ahead and share with your partner what you wrote. Alright, Natalie Sells, go up there and tell us what you got for your answer. Okay,
Or
yeah, angle R. Why did you put angle R?
because lined up with that.
Perfect. Write a congruent statement that indicates that the triangles are congruent. So looking at these two triangles, write a congruent statement.
That's what the equal signs and things goes over there.
This triangle is congruent to this triangle. Like triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF.
Oh, Taylor.
Okay.
You little thingy thing emojis.
Oh, shoot,
You
I am. actually.
So much for needing a second sheet of paper, Miss
are.
Taylor.
Alright, big deal.
Yeah,
Right.
we didn't get to another part. We will tomorrow.
I think now we're going to try this one. I got
I like you.
Oh, now we're going to row.
What's the symbol? What's the symbol you're supposed to have in front of it?
The triangle.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead, share with your partner what you wrote down.
I got KJI and SRT. No, you can have it anyway. No, as long as it's the same pattern. Right?
As long as it's the same, as long as the angles are corresponding.
Yay!
So it's KJI and SRT word.
Okay, so that would mean that K and S would have to be congruent. Or K and S
K
congruent.
has 2 lines, S has 3.
Oh my God.
You can either go 3 to 1 or 1 to 3.
I forgot you can look at it like that.
Alright, Natalie Boland, we'll let you do this one.
Listen to Natalie.
I think it's the first time she's heard it.
Yeah, I never get home.
I'm not socially awkward like me.
Literally.
You don't know.
She literally is though.
It's fine.
Okay, Taylor.
Alright, tell them what you wrote down. And why.
Triangle JKI congruent to triangle TRS because I just went like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, very good. So, the first triangle, the order doesn't matter. So if you wrote JKI, that's fine, but then you had to do TRS. Now, if you did KIJ, then you would have to do, RST. If you did KIJ, you'd have to do RST.
Do you have to write the little triangle symbol?
Yes, write the triangle symbol. Now, if it's more than a triangle, like a quadrilateral or a pentagon, then no, you don't have to write a symbol. But if it's a triangle, write a triangle symbol.
No, she expects you to write the exact shape of it.
Alright, make sure your name's on your paper, pass it to the front row, pass it to the right. And then you can turn in your calculators and get your phones. Tomorrow you have a quiz, and then after the quiz, we'll take notes. So that second piece of paper, save it for tomorrow.
Someone take my paper.
Hey.
Someone take my paper.